Colby, did you know that there's two possibilities?
Oh, is there?
Yeah, that either we're alone in the universe or we're not. Both are terrifying. That's a title movie. Well, and I know it's a science quote,
but it's also deep.
Right, but is it as deep as like stare into the abyss long enough and the abyss will stare back? What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
Theme music.
Alright, so we are officially at the last movie
of
our
dump month.
Of our 2-month dump month series. That's like it's a very Dr. Seussy way of me saying that. 2-month dump month. No, so we decided to finish it with I realized we haven't really done too many alien like abduction type of movies.
Right. No, this worked.
Right. This came out in 2013 on February something. But yeah, it's dark 2013's Dark Skies, starring Felicity. Keri Russell. Yeah. I did not like that show. But maybe I was too young when that show came out. It came out like in the early 2000s. And I was still like really hyped on like Buffy and Angel.
Oh, right. I don't think I ever really watched Felicity.
Right. So. No, but if you guys haven't seen Dark Skies, it is a alien abduction movie. It's like almost like a home invasion family drama alien abduction movie.
Right. And when you said alien movie and then you said Dark Skies, I thought you meant, when we just looked it up, Darkest Hour. Right. And it was all like, oh, yes, I've totally seen this movie. And then when I started playing it, it was like, I have totally not seen this movie.
Well, because like in your mind, you're like, yeah, invisible alien invasion with Wonder Woman like whips.
Yes.
So you're totally in for a different type of ride.
Right. We went from like action horror to suspense psychological thriller.
Right. This movie was actually a lot shorter than I remember it being. Like, I don't know what the exact runtime was, but this felt like maybe just an hour and a little bit, almost an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe that's
it didn't seem drawn out, but it didn't. It also didn't seem too short. I was okay with the time.
Well, I think for me, the conclusion came so abruptly.
It was a very like I did not expect that conclusion. Like it's one of those ones where I'm almost like, before we say it, we should say a spoiler alert. So if somebody wants to see this movie, they should.
Right, stop the episode right now. You have to come back though. Watch the movie. And then come back right at here at 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yes.
But go ahead.
No, I was pleasantly surprised. And then I kind of like looked, I was kind of doing like my research. People like either loved this movie or they hated it.
It was I'm surprised because I think when I picked it up, it was during like the Red Box craze, 2014 or something like that. I think me and my friends had like a weekly like movie night, and I picked this up, and I was like, well, I'm not a huge fan of Keri Russell, but I saw the trailers and it's about aliens. But yeah.
See, usually I don't even really look at. If it's like an alien movie, I'm like, oh, go ahead and grab it. I don't even care who's in it.
But yeah, no. So like, let's get to the movie. We'll do like a quick overview of this movie, and then we'll talk about how we felt about the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And so we open up with this nice suburban family, celebrating the youngest Sammy's birthday.
Yeah.
And Sammy, like, when you're that young, you're just always in your own world. So he's like drawing, he's doing all this stuff. Keri Russell and her husband are trying to prepare everything for the birthday. The oldest is hanging out with a guy named Ratface. Which, the dad doesn't like because Ratface is, like 3 years older?
He totally reminds me of, like, if this was like a 50s movie, he'd be like the punk.
Yeah. Well, he kind of looks like the human live action version of Sid, if the toys never came alive to him.
Yes.
But when we see the oldest son, he's with Ratface and they're watching porn, which I always thought was like I think that type of thing is it's a very much your own thing. I don't understand group watching.
When I was that age, because he said he's 14?
He's 13.
13.
13, and Ratface is 16.
Yes. So when I was 13 and we found, like, the first time we found porn, it was like 4-5 guys, and we were all like, we found porn. Let's watch it. And so it was... we all just watched it together. But it's, and then once you're like, okay, now I know what porn is, I should only watch this alone.
Yeah, right? You're all of a sudden, like, hunching over a little bit. Oh, putting your shirt over your pants.
One friend disappears into the bathroom for like 12 minutes.
It takes a while because then he has to work off his memory.
Yeah.
Or maybe he, like, creaks open the door just a little bit. But, what the era that you grew up, even for me, like, for me, it was more like finding a magazine.
Oh, okay, yep.
And then, like, it sort of became almost like a library thing where, like, oh man, can I borrow it? But I think it was 2013. The internet was there, right?
Yeah. So we had the kid down the street who had like brothers that were like 8 years older than him.
Yeah.
And then he would like steal it from them, and like the first time it was like he stole it from them and he brought it over and we watched. We're like, oh my goodness, this is like
the greatest
there
thing
is
ever.
Like things that they don't show on like HBO or
the Skinamax.
That's what I was trying to think.
No, but see, so we get introduced to quite a normal suburban family. They're having dinner, with the birthday kid and all the families that they're friends with, and it seems everything is normal. But you could tell that there's turbulence within the parents. Only because the father or the husband lost his job as an architect. So they're financially in distress. Keri Russell is a real estate agent, but she's too nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Because, I mean, it's the kind of real estate agent where you're like, I would buy something off you because you're so honest.
Exactly.
But it doesn't make sales.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not very consistent sales.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's a lot of turbulence between them too, but really what we get is a lot of night terrors in this movie. First, it starts off with something small, like after that night, the birthday night is done, Keri Russell, she for some reason goes downstairs, and it looks like a burglar came in and just ate all their food.
Right. But the back door's then like slightly ajar.
Yeah.
So they're like, did a dog come in here and like get into the trash or into
yeah, but then Keri
fridge?
Russell's like, what kind of dog only eats lettuce?
Yeah.
The next night, the same thing happens, but this time it almost looks like a paranormal activity thing. Mm-hmm. Except, so they have all these jars, all these glasses all stacked together, like impossibly stacked. Like there's a box of wheat thins on its side, like on its corner, one of its corners.
Right. It's like if you're watching Discovery Channel and you see the guy who's like trying to do the record of the most
stone stacking.
It's like that kind of stacking, like we're certainly not something that was done quickly.
Exactly. But the only thing that makes it different is if you look at the ceiling, it looks like those cornfield signs.
Yeah, the way the lights are kind of like shining through.
Yeah, so obviously the family gets very weirded out. You know?
I would.
So they call the cops, but the cops is like, oh, maybe this guy's just a really, like, you know, he's a prankster, but he's like really into geometry. It's kind of brushed off, but it seems like
right, because it's like all the windows and doors are still locked. It's no obvious break-in. Nothing was stolen.
Yeah, no one was hurt.
Just weird things were stacked, and then he starts like, "Hey, you know, are your kids mad at you? Would they come down here in the middle of the night?" He's like, "I had somebody who used to sleep eat in the middle of the night. They'd come down and they would just eat."
Yeah. Well, like, what do you sleep stacking? With a geometry in mind? No, like
Wake
I would
up in
be
the middle
worried.
of the night with your protractor and your compass and go down and
Exactly. It's not. It wasn't something that's possible within the time frame, right?
yeah.
But no, the cop tells the family like, "Hey, just turn back on your home security system."
Right.
You know,
Which the husband kind of makes a joke, and then he turned it off because, you know, that's useless, but it's really because he's more broke than he lets his wife know.
Exactly, right? Because like we do see that like he does go to an interview, but he doesn't really do well.
Yeah.
And then we see another scene where there's like an eviction notice or a late mortgage payments,
Right.
something like that. No, but that night they get it reactivated. And all of a sudden, all of the alarm just blares off.
Yeah.
Right? And so they call the alarm system, and they're like, "Oh, there must be a malfunction." And it was like, "Well, why is that?" It was like because all of the things
every
went off.
sensor went off at the same time.
Which is like, you know, it's either it is a system like malfunction or it's just a very well coordinated home invasion. Like, let's hit all the sensors.
Yeah.
But at this point, like, the family starts to exhibit some some sort of signs.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have Keri Russell, who throughout the movie starts to lose time.
Right.
We have the husband who has probably an implant behind his ear.
Yeah.
Most likely, right?
He's very much scratching the bug bites that keep biting him behind the ear.
Yeah. We have Sammy, the youngest one, sleepwalking.
Right. He's the most distinctive weird things.
Exactly, right? Because he's also like he's talking to somebody in his bedroom, but when there's like no one in there, so it's weird. The most normal one seems to be the oldest son.
Right.
Right? And so, you know, he just seems like very teen angsty, like,
right.
I just want to hang out with my friends.
Especially when you got like a 16-year-old. You got to be extra angsty to impress your older friend.
Exactly, right. And it's funny because in one of the houses that Keri Russell was showing, he ends up stealing like the key for it, so him and his friends can hang out, and then they're smoking weed in that house. And well, one of the girls that's like the daughter of the best friend of the mother, is all like, he tells her like, "Don't tell your mom," and she's like, "What are you gonna do for me?" And I don't know if this but he just goes off as, you know what, I feel like a lot of guys have done this, but he just says a line from porn.
Oh, right. Yes. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, if that works in porn, then it's got to work in real life." I was never ballsy enough to try that.
I had to skip it. I like at the moment he said, "You've been a bad girl." I was like, "Oh, nope. Don't want to watch that. Don't want to be reminded of awkward teenage years." But no, you could tell at the beginning of the movie they had like an attraction.
Oh, right.
Which I don't know if she is older than him or the same age. She seems to be a little bit older, maybe like 2 years.
Yeah,
but he got that beaver hair.
Yeah, and a weird nose. And maybe his nose is just accented by his weird hair.
No, yeah, you know, it's the beaver hair. You know, it's just like, he's constantly like swirling his head around.
Yeah.
But no, it's so one good thing does happen to the family though is that when Keri Russell's husband finally lands a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, amongst all the weird stuff that's been happening, especially with Sammy, he has like a night terror and all that stuff. That's like one of their saving graces is that he finally lands this architect job, and so they want to have, you know, a night where, you know, they do some adult stuff.
Yep. Celebrate.
They celebrate, but more weird things keep happening to Sammy, and so one night, Keri Russell, she makes her rounds for the night. 'Cause, apparently she just wakes up at 3:00 in the morning.
Right, same time every night, and that's where she
night.
found the trash all eaten on the floor. That's when she found the boxes all and the glasses all stacked weird.
Yeah, but she hears Sam talking in his bedroom. And so when she goes in there, she sees a gray.
Yeah, it looks like a shadow figure kind of.
Yeah. And this is where this is where I was like, oh, I didn't mind Keri Russell's performance in there, cuz when she sees it, she it looked genuinely like maybe the director didn't tell her it was going to be there or something, but she sold that scare.
Yeah.
And so this is where the family, this is where her and her husband get a lot more worried, and so he installs cameras in the rooms. Right. Because at this point, Sammy, this is where he sleepwalked out of the house without tripping any of the alarms.
Right. That was the weirdest part is that
he got transported.
He is. They see him outside, and and he's just in his underwear because it's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And they run out to get him, and when they open the door, the alarm immediately goes off, and it's like, what? How'd
you get out of here? Right. And then later on, he goes to the park, and the husband seems to care about appearances because throughout the movie he's like, did you tell your friends we're broke?
Right.
And stuff like that. And then his friend asks oh, I heard Sammy needs a therapist. I could recommend you one. He's like, he doesn't need one.
Yeah.
Right. But all of a sudden Sammy wets himself and then screams at the top of his lungs. So there's something going on. Keri Russell is more convinced, especially after having seen the gray.
Yeah.
Even if it was a flash.
Right. And if it's not there and it's just a shadow, that could be so real to you, but it's really hard to portray that to somebody else that could be something that's real.
Yeah.
Who's going to believe there's an alien in her son's room.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, she's very upset though.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like she comes from a long line of crazy people. So for someone to be so that you've known for how many years, for her to be so logical and all that stuff, that there must be at least some merit to that claim.
Mm-hmm.
But this father is very I don't know, old school.
Right.
I mean,
that's a good way to say it.
Right, because there's now everyone's oh, they're very much more open. They talk about chakras and all this. But good old American 1960s American male.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with my son. No, but at this point, after everything that's happened, because the nights that they finally get the cameras installed into her house, there has been sort of an electrical interference.
Right.
But it's sequenced. It always starts from the front of the door to the hallway, the stairs, the two sons' bedrooms, and then the main bedroom.
Yeah.
It's and then it sequences backwards, but in the same sequence.
Yeah.
Right. And so after a couple nights, finally he slows it down and goes by it frame by frame. And then one of the frames simultaneously on all three of them freak him out.
Yeah.
Because it looks like shadow figures, right?
Right. But it's still one of those things where there's an interference. So it's Like, even if it's a freeze frame, it's a little imagination to make it into,
No, he grew up during the time where you had to, like, you go down to the Spice Channel and then, like, that's a boob.
Oh, yep.
Freeze frame, that's a boob.
I definitely grew up in that era.
Yeah. Exactly. I remember doing that. But, and more strange things keep piling up into the house, like 3 different birds in their migrating season.
Yeah,
all
3
crash into
full flocks of birds. So like 80 dead birds, I think.
Yeah, if I saw this, oh my God, that house has Damien in it.
Right?
I've seen it in The Omen, I think.
Yeah, because at this point, if you did not know this was an alien movie, you certainly could see it going that direction.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, it also, like, it's like the whole, like, there's science to it, like some sort of magnetic field that the birds were drawn to.
Right,
or something. But yeah, it definitely would freak me out. So now the husband's on board. Husband's like, oh, no, this is aliens. I know it. And then they what's it called? Keri Russell finds an expert on aliens that's maybe like 30 minutes away.
Yes.
And lo and behold, it's one of America's greatest actors, J.K. Simmons. I like J.K. Simmons. He's so good in anything that he's in.
All the State Farm commercials.
But no, J.K. Simmons seems to be like a very well-versed person in this field of aliens.
Yeah.
And pretty much is just an exposition dump at this point. But he tells the whole backstory. He's like, what? Because then the husband says, let's just move.
Right, and that's when he's like, "Oh, they probably have put a tracker in you," and it's this, and you don't want to believe him, but then when he shows the back of his ear as well,
it's like, okay,
right, because they were like, well, can't we just get the tracker removed? And he's like, I've tried to, but it seems like every time I get close to it, it moves.
Exactly right. So, yeah. I guess the doctor wouldn't remove anything if it wasn't there.
Right.
But didn't you could x-ray it? But I don't know. Alien tech, who knows? Right.
And can you go into someplace and be like, I think I have an alien tracker behind my ear. Will you x-ray my head? They're probably like, no, you should go ahead and down the hall to the psych ward and talk to a therapist.
I would fake it. I'd be like, well, I was in Europe and then I got bombed and there's shrapnel in behind my ear and it's but then you can't get my medical records because it was a hospital and then that got bombed. Listen, like, anything that seems more plausible than like, oh, I got probed by aliens. But no, he explains pretty much everything that there is to know about aliens in this part. He's like, I don't have dogs because dogs apparently react to them very badly.
Right, and they'd bark and keep me up all night.
Yeah, and then so that's why he was like, I got this useless cat. Kobe has a cat. That's why it's funny to me. No, he says for some reason that the cats don't mind aliens, and it's probably because, like Samuel L. Jackson said, cats are the most dangerous beings on the universe.
So true.
No, like, I mean, but I could see cats not really caring.
Right. Yep.
Maybe it's not caring, or maybe the vibe that an alien gives a cat is like, oh, we're the same, huh? I've been tricking this human into feeding me for years. Oh, but no. So he explains that, like, yes, he's like, I used to live in the suburbs. I used to have dogs, but dogs would keep me up all night because they kept sensing the aliens. And also, he says that if you move, it doesn't matter. These aliens came like hundreds of light years away, and they've been watching you for much longer than you think.
Yeah, if they came 100 million light years, and if you moving 10 miles to the next town isn't going to make a difference.
Yeah, and they say that they've been observing you, and where you're at is not at the beginning of this stage; it's at the end.
Yeah.
So you can tell that, like, J.K. Simmons has already been through this. Somebody from his family's probably was already taken.
Right, and he doesn't say that.
Yeah, but you can feel it. Like, there's no other reason. There's no way that you're so obsessed with this that it's just because you're like, yeah, I fucking think aliens are real, bro. No, you're obsessed because you're like, my son got taken by aliens.
Right. And I can't be the only one. I've got to find other people because I have to justify it. I have to
find the truth. So either J.K. Simmons has connected with all these families, right, and has a network of people who have gone, like, who have alien experiences, or he has just created the largest network of child murderers.
Yeah.
No, but so at this point, this is why I thought the movie seemed short, because after this, they take a much more proactive stance.
Right, because he kind of makes the statement. He's like, there's not really anything you can do. That he's going to take, the first kid that they've interacted with,
or not the kid, but he just says the first person they interact with
is usually the one that they end up taking, and that it won't end till then. And they're like, the only thing you can do is just make it so difficult for them to get into the house and to do anything that they get frustrated and they move on to the next family. Which is, that's horrible, but
like, at least it's not my family,
right?
Like, what do you think these aliens who have been like watching your family for like God knows how long is just like, fine, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go to the next town. Then. No, man, they have powers. But Keri Russell goes to get like this canine.
Right.
Pretty
German Shepherd.
Yeah, like a pretty aggressive one, but then when he gets to the house, it's like fairly calm. The dad goes to the gun shop and he's like, I need something that's gonna go boom boom in close quarters. And the guy's like, what are you hunting? He's just like, come on, man, just make the sale.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess, couldn't you just say, like, hey, I want to protect my house just in case we've been having a bad string of home invasions.
Robberies around.
And so I need something that's going to go boom, boom. and they go to the house. They start
boarding up all the windows.
The teenage kid, he gets pretty frustrated. I mean, earlier, sorry, I did bypass this, but earlier he did like have a huge freak out in the woods, and the dad went to go beat up Ratface because he's like, you gave my kid drugs. But like, but yeah, no. So he goes to see the girl that he likes, and he's like, yeah, my dad's like freaking out. He's like, I heard your dad's boarding up the house, and then like, and then that was it.
Right.
Maybe they kissed, but he came back home and he just accepted the fact that like something is coming. And so they decide to, after boarding everything up, they have dinner and they watch the fireworks on the TV. And then this is where...
Right, because it's 4th of July.
Yeah, it's 4th of July. And then this is where shit hits the fan. They start invading the home.
Yeah.
And the dog is going crazy. He's just like... Bark, 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 bark. And, they split up. They try to help Sammy. Or they're trying to save Sammy. Because this family believes Sammy, because he's been shown to be the most affected.
Right. Yes.
But as they're like running around the house trying to fight off the Greys, what's it called? The oldest kid starts to have an hallucination.
Right. And when they were talking to the guy about the aliens, he did say that he was like, once they get into the house, they, and they've put the implant in you, they can make you see whatever they want you to see.
Yeah. And it was mainly, I feel like, to make it as easy as possible for them to abduct this person.
Right.
Right. And so, but the oldest kid, he sees that he thinks he sees that his dad killed the mother. And then Sammy keeps running around the house, Ratface is doing it with the girl that he likes. They're watching porn together because that's what 16-year-old thinks. Like, oh, this is gonna get her turned on,
right?
And then all of a sudden, Sammy, what's called the oldest kid is trying to get to Sammy, but then he finally snaps out of it, and the parents are like, "What are you doing?" And, you know, Sammy's with them, and then he is just surrounded by the Greys.
Yeah.
And gets abducted.
That's really kind of the first time you really get to see him.
Yeah. Like in not a quick cut fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets abducted. And then at this point, you're like, oh my God. And then we cut back to J.K. Simmons. He sees the article that the parents are suspected in the disappearance of their child.
Yeah.
The family has moved to an apartment. You know, they're in midst of a legal battle.
Right.
Because the government or the police or whatever think that they also killed their kid or something like that.
Right. I mean,
right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If your child just goes missing and you're like, aliens took him, the police are like, yeah, you probably killed him and buried him in like the wheat field. I don't know.
Right, exactly. And so they're in the midst of a legal battle. Keri Russell, she brings up toys for her kid, but he's very disinterested in the whole thing. He doesn't really care about toys right now.
Yeah.
But Keri Russell starts to go through the oldest box, and she starts to see drawings from when he was younger. And it was him who was actually first contacted with the aliens. And then she starts having flashbacks of the things that she said during the movie. She's like, yeah, you remember when he was first born? He will always get sick and all this stuff. And so it just smacks you right in the face like, oh my God, it was all foreshadowing. And then all of a sudden, from Sammy's box of toys, the walkie-talkie that him and his brother used to use starts to, and then we end the movie with the oldest brother saying, Sammy. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Kobe, what are your thoughts for this movie?
Sorry. Like I said, I really didn't know what to expect because I thought this was a different movie. But no, I thought it was a well done suspense. They built up the fear really well, like without showing it. I mean, like without showing the Greys, like you really didn't see them till.
Yeah, they took a very Jaws approach.
Yeah.
To it,
yeah, and man, I love it when a movie does that. I hate when, like, it to me, it always kind of ruins the suspense when they're like, uh-oh, there's this monster, and then it's all of a sudden, it's like right there, like full thing, you know, it's not just like
broad daylight.
Yeah, not like, oh, I could see a tooth in the window or like eyes in the trees, you know, that's to me much more terrifying than just having the monster like boom right there in your face.
Yeah, which I feel like, you know, when Jaws did it, what's it called? Initially, they wanted to show the shark way more times. But for budgetary reasons, they're like, we could only show the shark this many times. But then it added much more to that. And then for a while, it went away. Like, we had the late 70s and 80s horror craze.
Yep.
Where they constantly showed the monster, and to the point where it was almost like goofy.
Right. Yep.
And then so I'm glad we're back to this point where like, all right, let's just try to show it less.
Yeah.
And have a decent story. Yeah, what did you think about like the performance for like the actors in here? Like, who did you like the most?
Actually, I thought everybody did a great job. Like the dad was super believable to me. Like you said, he's kind of like the old school mentality, but like that's how a dad acts. Like he's like, nah, my kid doesn't need therapy. Right. You know, like and he's trying to be the man, so he's like, yeah, no, the job interview went good, even though I know it didn't. Yeah. I'm gonna hype it up to you that way. I could find something before
you get more disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like the parts that was written for them. It was very believable, and I think that's what I really liked about this movie too, because it felt like not every family is like really perfect, and for them, even though like their life was sort of having this like turbulence, when he got the job, they're like, "Fuck it, let's celebrate. I'm gonna bang your brains out today."
Right.
Oh man. No, what did you think about the twist though?
I liked it.
Right?
Like I really it seemed too obvious that there was going to be the young kid, and then they're just like, how are they going to stop it? Are they going to shoot an alien? Is the alien just going to go away? And then it wasn't the young kid, and so it was like, whoa. And then they took him too. It wasn't even like, oh, we got the wrong one. It was like, oh no, they're straight up abducted him.
They got the right one.
Yeah.
And we tricked you. They got finessed. The family got super finessed. They got juked. That's what it was. I believed the whole time that it was the youngest kid. It's always the youngest kid, and then boom, they're like, no, they've been watching them for years.
Right.
Which was crazy to me. And I like the fact that like most movies would have just ended it there. Boom, like, oh, kid got abducted, boom, done. No. I like that they showed these, like, even if it was only like 3-4 minutes of the aftermath of what happened. Yes, like this family's gonna get suspected for the disappearance of their 13-year-old.
Right, because they skip that in most movies,
Exactly.
Yeah. You got to kill your grandson because he's possessed by the devil, and then then
Roll
everything's
credits.
okay. Yeah, you don't have to like explain to the police that you killed your grandson because he was possessed by the devil, and then they throw you in a psych ward.
Yeah.
And then your family gets sued and all.
Yeah. Well, so like it's funny too, because they built it up too, because like in the middle of the movie we see that the oldest kid and Sammy both are bruised up in their body.
Yeah.
And so everyone thinks like, oh my God, that they're monsters. How could they do that to their
because
kids?
you could see the dad as he gets more frustrated, as
more unhinged.
Yes, as the money and the jobs, and then like the weirdness at home, you can see him get more and more frustrated, and from the outside you could easily make that conclusion, like, oh, all of a sudden kid's got bruises all over his back.
Yeah.
And dad is not handling this, and he's
exactly. So I was a lot more surprised that they still had their kid at the end of the film. But yeah, they are going through the legal battles. I like that part. I like that portion. I even like J.K. Simmons' like little exposition dump, because it felt like, so after that the movie only had like 20 more minutes left.
Right.
So it just felt like I feel like there's like 20 minutes missing somewhere, somehow. But I mean, yeah, like you said at the beginning of the episode, it didn't feel rushed. Everything felt well paced. I don't know, man. There's something like I want a sequel, but then that would ruin it.
Right. I think there is a sequel. When I was looking for this, I thought that I saw that there was a part 2.
No, I think just that many people looked it up.
Oh, okay.
It could be it too. I don't know. Maybe there is a sequel. Maybe there isn't. I don't. But yeah, like I think it would ruin it, because then you're like, then they would have to show the aliens and what happened to the oldest kid.
Then all of a sudden it would be what we were just saying we don't like about a movie, because
they would show it, or so it's super.
Well,
weird.
he did make reference that there was 3 kinds of aliens. 9 out of 10 are grays, and that there's the insectoid pincher aliens, and then the
thing
reptile. The reptile aliens, and he's like, I don't think that reptile aliens are even real.
But the grays, definitely.
Yes.
100%. Wait, so you said there's insects, reptiles, and grays?
Yes.
That's so weird. So I know like the grays have been a very common, like a staple in alien lore.
Since Close Encounters, maybe.
Right, like since Roswell.
Yeah,
but like I never like. I guess insect. Would you count that as a thing? It's like a very parasitic.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for.
But lizards, yeah, definitely fiction.
Right, that'd be like your predators and.
Yeah. No, but then like the predator is like very intelligent. I guess is that an alien? Is that a lizard? Would you count that as a lizard?
I would say it was reptilian though.
Oh, because of the mandible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. He's got hair, right? Oh, if he's got hair, he's a mammal. I guess those don't necessarily have to
half man, half lizard.
In other, galaxies, there may be other categories that we don't have here on Earth. So,
to me, the only scary thing is like a predator stripper. Like, like I don't know. I don't want to know what that strip club was like. I don't even know how they mate. That's the thing. That's like the scary thing too. But no,
I know, right? Because if they're a humanoid body form, you just assume it's going to be the same.
Boobs and butts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. So yeah, this movie it was pretty surprising to me, just because I didn't think it was gonna be so suspenseful. Mm-hmm. And it was I think it was very smart in the things that it chose to do. Where you didn't even see the Gray's face very clearly. You only saw it maybe in a second if you were paying attention.
Right.
What did you think about the costume design or how they depicted the Grays in this?
Oh yeah, no, that totally worked for me.
Right.
They made them very like spindly armed and legged.
Yeah.
And then their heads weren't even
very cone-headish.
Right, but they weren't even like clear. They were still like fuzzy filmed. So it was, even when you saw them, it was still distorted a little bit.
Right. I think that might be some sort of like electrical frequency that they give off.
Maybe. Yeah, because that would be the cameras and
yeah, and then I guess maybe it distorts the way that you see them.
And they didn't really say it, but the way they boarded up the windows, it was like maybe they can pass through something clear like that, and that's how they could get into the house without setting off the alarms and that kind of thing. But then if they boarded up the windows, then they had to. That was kind of a spooky thing too, when like the boards would shake and then you could see the nails like slowly start to.
Oh yeah, they
work their ways out.
They had like a superhero entrance because they worked the nails off the board and just came into that house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did no one in that neighborhood see what happened? Like saw what happened? That's what I want to know. Because like a bright light shone through the house.
Yeah, but yeah, if it's at 3:00 in the morning, is somebody going to see that? Is there going to be people out?
Well, if it's that
in
bright,
suburban neighborhood, and maybe it's just.
But it also made like that ruckus, right, as they were getting into the house. So I don't know if their ship was there, but like.
Right, but again, that could have been like an electrical kind of thing that they were. If they're there, they could be shining it towards the house, and then it's not make it.
Well, who knows the science, right? I
right.
mean, they've been able to travel millions of light years. Who knows if they just made like a territory where only the house was experiencing that, but on the outside it was just a normal Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
And who knows, if they're in that one house, they may have done something to the whole neighborhood.
Oh, like a Stepford Wives thing?
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe they were like really picky, who knows, right? Colby, where would you put this on your alien movie list?
It's interesting because it really comes across much more suspenseful than horror-ish.
Yeah.
So it kind of like there's like almost like multiple categories that like alien movies can go into, and then you have like Paul, and so then I guess that could be a comedy, even though that's terrifying. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Oh, it was Seth Rogen who was the voice for Paul, right?
Yeah, I don't. This was good. Like as a suspense movie, I mean, like I felt like this was much more. You would almost categorize this into those like haunting movies and demon possession, where like things slowly happen and then you start to realize that somebody's possessed or that the house is haunted. I feel like it kind of fits more in with that than actually with alien movies. Maybe like a Signs kind of
like category. Yeah, because it feels like it's a family centric drama.
Yeah.
Right, and then they threw. I don't know. I'm not gonna say they threw in sci-fi in there, but like it's mixed with the science fiction or the real. Like, aliens are probably real. So,
right.
Do you count it as science fiction if there's a high probability that it's real? Who knows?
Right. We go back to our opening quote. Is it scarier to think that they're out there or that they're not?
I think they're out there, right? They have to be.
There has to be.
The galaxy in the universe is just too large for there not to be.
Right.
If I could have turn one mana crypt into a simic signet, there's definitely another planet out there that was able to sustain life. If you guys don't get that, you guys don't play Magic the Gathering.
Adam, almost like if you do get that, you play too much Magic the Gathering.
No, someone's probably like, "Oh, you know what's better? Turn one mana crypt soul ring into a signet into a mox diamond."
Yeah,
peasant. Yeah, there's definite power levels out there, but if you guys, no, that's another podcast for somebody else.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man, but I would put this I would put this in my top 20 of like alien movies.
Okay.
Right? Because for me it doesn't have enough aliens.
Right, and that's why I'm like almost like it's in a different category than like typical alien movies.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's still an alien movie, right? So
right.
I liked it because it was a pleasant surprise for me. I was surprised by how much I liked this. Now, like what's probably in my top 10 list of alien movies is Extraterrestrial, but that's because someone gets probed in it. No, but yeah, I actually really like the designs for the Greys in this film. Just because like everyone always does like either like the small body, big head,
right,
or like or something of that sort of fashion. This one it felt a little bit like more realistic to me.
Yes,
and terrifying.
Right, long skinny arms. That's just terrifying.
Right, it's because all of that power goes to their big old brains.
Or their arms are like spider arms.
All right, exactly. But then again, don't you? Maybe are they telepathically holding that head up? I remember watching some YouTube video. I'm pretty sure it's fake, but it's like the government talking to a gray, and then the gray is like, "Oh, I'm from the future. I'm a human." And, our brains are like this because we use it more than you guys. But, I don't know. Like, were you ever, like, super into, like, alien stuff?
I was into it just because I like sci-fi and that kind of thing. But I was never like, let's make a road trip to, like, Area 51. And, let's do our research and find the
science behind it all.
Yeah.
Right. No, yeah, I think I was really into aliens when I was younger. Surprisingly, I was not into X-Files.
Okay.
But I think it's because like if I got a chance to watch it now, I could watch it in a more chronological order. Because when we were growing up,
oh right,
You know, if you miss an episode, you're like lost.
Right. Yeah, because there was like every episode kind of had its own story, but there was always like this. Every season had like this background story that
if you don't know, then you're like, I can't get into this.
Right.
Know? Not like a comedy show where you're like, okay, I'll pick this up, and you're like, okay. Kobe, so do you think there was like a reason maybe back in the 60s and the 70s that there was much more high rates of abductions and like cow abductions than there is today?
I'm not sure if there was a higher rate.
You think so? Because like every time I watch like something from them, like, you know, like I think American Horror Story had a little clip on it, like when they did the psychiatric version.
Yeah.
That one, like the lesbian couple got abducted or something. I don't know. I felt like maybe like in the 70s there was.
I feel like you got like the 50s and the 60s, and something like that happens. You come into town, you're like, holy crap, I just got abducted. And then when you get into like the 70s and the 80s, you're like, I got abducted. I can't tell anybody about this.
Well, because they saw what happened to the person in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, they're going to throw me in like
the psych ward.
Yeah.
And that was back then when you didn't have a choice.
Right.
Because I think they used to throw women in there for being lesbians. I was like, Jesus.
Exactly.
Just imagine what they're going to do to me. I was abducted by aliens. No, but like, do you think there's like a reason why there's not as many reports today though?
Maybe things are more populated. Maybe aliens know about our cameras and our weapons and that kind of stuff, and it's not as safe
to abduct somebody. Yeah, I just kept thinking he's like, yo, we learned everything about the anal cavity that we could. Was it like a legit concern in like the 90s? Or like, I don't want no aliens going to my butt, because I remember that's when like South Park came out with that alien probing episode.
Yeah, no, that was never an actual fear of mine. That was never. I was like, you know, hey, if I'm out like in the desert or I'm out like driving and I'm like out of town, and I see some weird lights or something, I'm scared that might be an alien, and I don't want to be killed. But it never was like, I don't want to see an alien because I don't want nothing stuck in my butt.
Well, you know, now that we're like, now that we have Guardians of the Galaxy, not everyone's gonna be like, oh, if I get abducted, I could just become Star-Lord.
Oh yeah. I mean,
but yeah, like it's funny because like crop circles used to be so big when I was growing up, like it would be in the news, like, oh, where did this crop circle come from? But then it got debunked by somebody and all that stuff.
Yeah, ish.
Also, you believe? I
don't know if I believe that some people figured out a way to imitate, but I don't feel like they are all fake.
Right. I mean, yeah, because then definitely, you know, sorry, we're getting to our hour. We got into our alien talks. If it's the first time you guys are joining us, well, thank you for joining us, and hope you enjoyed the episode. But we do our ratings in 4 sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and Ultimate Box Collection. Now, I guess I would have to say Ultimate Box Collection would be this, the Alien movie with Mila Jovovich, where they had those white owls. And wow, what's another, like fuck it, Extraterrestrial. Kobe, where you at with this one though?
I might go Blu-ray on this one. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed this a lot. Because it's like a suspense movie, like it's not like super hardcore replay value, just because you already know
what happens.
But I would definitely watch this again soon to see if there was stuff in there that I missed. Because like on this kind of stuff, movies, there's always something that you missed, or things that you like catch that you didn't miss, but you didn't realize they were significant until the end. Mm-hmm. And then, then you rewatch and you're like, oh, I could see what they're saying here. Oh, I could see why
the foreshadowing.
Yeah. But then you kind of throw it on like once a year.
Yeah. It's not like something you're like, oh, you plan around it.
Right.
But you're like, oh, I haven't seen this movie forever. Or if you want to show somebody like a really good alien movie, you're like, oh, we got to watch this then.
Right. Yeah.
Right. No, yeah, I'm definitely in the same boat. I was thinking DVD before I rewatched it, and I forgot how good this movie was. And I was like, oh, this movie is awesome. And like in my mind, I figured the Blu-ray might have some testimonies from people who have experienced this type of experiences.
I could see that
and all that stuff. And because this movie, the material is so close to, I know it's not going to be shown in a light where like, yeah, they probably murdered their kid. Or they did. I don't know. But yeah. So. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed our 2-month trek of dump month
movies.
Right. One thing that I do want to say that does monster stuff really well, because you know how we talked about how we liked movies that don't show the monsters
right
until like the last scene. The Ritual on Netflix. I was watching a review on it. And they're like, yeah, look at it, man. You don't even notice it's in the woods until like it moves. And it's just like that's the type of stuff that keeps me out of camping. And and if I ever get abducted, aliens, please just give me like really cool gadgets and stuff like that. Like don't put anything in any orifice. Unless you're gonna turn me into like a bionic man.
Right. Come back as like Cyborg.
All right. But like I still want full function of my penis. It would be a shame, like I'm anatomically correct except down there. Oh man. But yeah, if you check down on our show notes, it has all the ways that you guys can communicate with us. It has our Amazon affiliate links, and it would be awesome if you guys like the content we make. If you guys want to support us, we don't have like a huge fan base, so we don't have a Patreon. But if you guys want to use that Amazon links to do your shopping for the new year,
it gives us a few cents.
Gives us something.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon we'll be able to get like a combo at Wendy's. For each of us, right now we could only afford like maybe a 6-piece nuggets
to split. Oh,
3 nuggets each. But please, do so.
Yeah, I mean, really, like any suggestions on types of categories or movies that you want to see. If there's just a single, I mean, we can always do a special. Some weeks have 5 drop days, and so we can do some singles in there. And I mean, we'd love to hear from you mostly.
Right. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album Music for Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.